But it's time to open this. This is the big fat calculator. It's like the CASIO CG50, just really fat and with a colour screen, and can do some of them. That's what it's all about. So these calculators are really expensive. They're about 100 quid. I was given this one for free. Yeah, I'm still trying to get over that. Some colleges actually buy these for students to use in exams, and the main thing that we need to get over is that students can actually use them. You can use them and actually get some fruition out of the exam. So what I'm going to do is going to get this one opened and just look at doing basic beep beep beep. What's that called? Calculations on it. It's called a calculator, Stevie. So let's get it open. So with these calculators, you do get a lot of documentation with it. I think there's, yeah, this feels quite heavy. Ooh. And then your batteries, and then right in the bottom of there, we've got this quick start guide. Batteries, oh yes. Right. Yeah, there's a lot of instructions here, but let's just get this on. There's a few things that I know about these calculators. One, you can set your username, and then you can put a password on that username. Don't do that. Two, some of them need updating. That's what this is for. Right, let's keep this area clean. So it takes 4 AAA batteries. These are the ones that you'll get in your Amazon Fire Stick and that kind of stuff. So it's quite a power-thirsty calculator. There aren't currently any solar-powered options like there is with your ClassWiz, which is unfortunate. So if you're ever using it in something important like an exam, make sure you got those batteries. Right. Ooh, language. English. So once you've opened up this calculator, you get these basic little screens about setting it up. Just click through them. It's like the old kind of phones where these buttons along the top will do what options it gives you along on the screen at the bottom. So this is the main menu. If you click on any of these using the execute button, it will put it onto that little function for you. To go back, you're going to press this button here. Menu. I actually pressed the wrong one then. You press this menu button and you go back to there. That is going to be probably the most important button, because if you ever end up in something that you're not meant to be there, you can go back. Now if you go down to the system, execute to open it, yeah, you've got all these things. So I want to go into display settings just to make sure it's nice and bright. Crank that up. Yeah, there we go. Right, so the first thing you want to do is add some numbers on the calculator. That's what it's for. So to do that, we're going to go up to Runmatrix. This is the first one. Runmatrix is a bit of an odd name for this. Usually we're just used to seeing like the first menu, but it's called Runmatrix in here because that's one of the features. You can do a lot of matrices on here. Let's get that knife out of the way. So open up that, and this is the worst thing. It looks quite different to a calculator that you're used to. If I press like sine of 60, I'm in radians actually. It says rad up there, so let's do sine of pi. Here's pi down there, shift pi. That's going to give, sine of pi is 0 because that's 180 degrees equals, there it is. Now, it's still there. The good thing about that is that we can go back and edit our history. If we were like, oh, well, I know what that is, so I'm going to do sine of pi by 2. And it edits it up there in the actual history. If you want to delete everything, you're going to press this delete, delete all. Bam, we're going to start again. So I mentioned about radians. Let's see about changing the radians. What we're going to do is shift, setup, and go down to angles, and we're going to change that to degrees. Exit, and now if we do sine of 60, That's the one. So just going to repeat that. If we do, can't see it from this side, shift menu, that gets us to this little menu here. Then we're going to go down to this and we're just going to move between these ones. Radians, gradians, now they're a good one when someone tried to decimalize degrees, we don't really use that. Radians and degrees. And then once you've got it, you don't like, you can press execute it turns out, or you can just go exit and back. There we go, we are actually calculating now. So if we want to do something a bit more mathematical, we're going to press math and do something like dy by dx. So we can put in a function, this is our variable x to the power of, ooh, I've messed that up, x to the power of 6. What's the gradient of that when x is 9? That's it. So you've got all these other little functions and stuff you can do. Absolute function, so absolute function of -9, it's obviously going to be 9. If we go through there, we can do sums, integrals, definite integrals, I should mention. If I press in, yeah, I've got nothing in there. So if I want to delete all that, I'm going to exit through back from that math line, then delete that line. Yes, that is it. I'm trying to think of what the most alien thing about this calculator is, and I think that is that a lot of the buttons, these functions, are missing because they're hidden in these menus at the top. So if I press exit, it goes back to there. Then from there I can click through that and then go through all this. That doesn't do anything here. That just moves up and down. We want to go through them like that. Right, so you have done some calculations. Now you want to go do something else. Menu, and then we go back to there. Turn it off, shift, that one. So when we turn this back on, it goes back to where we actually left off. When we left off, just somewhere random, let's go back up to Runmatrix, it's option 1, you could also press your 1. And it's kept all of that from our previous session. I don't know about you, but I find that quite annoying. If I ever get a calculator like this, I'll exit through that, delete all, let's just get rid of all that, fresh math mode. Whew. If you are doing further maths, this little button here, mat/vec, means you can put in some matrices. I don't really like that option. I would prefer to do math and then mat/vec. And then you can just slap one in, a 3x3 matrix, and it just enter all your numbers. Right, that's all I want to do for this video. Just to get a little bit familiar with just bog standard calculations on there. Remember to use your brackets on calculators. That is like the key thing that people forget about, that if you do -1², guess what? It's +1. Right, so now we've got that. Your class whiz as well, you need that for some of the stats, and one of these if your school can have them. It's got graphing functions on there, which I'm not going to talk about now, but I will talk about in another video. This is a video, Stevie. Well done. Enjoy quarantine.